Hi, everyone. Hope you're doing well, being safe, and being kind. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and welcome to Tarot by the Pines. I am your cutthroat host for this channel, Jason. This is another installment where I deep dive into the suits of tarot. I have already done the suit of wands, which is the summer season or the element of fire, the suit of pentacles, which is the fall season, autumn season, which is the element of earth. And now it is time to move on to the suit of swords, which is the winter season and the air element. Now, the suit of swords is my favorite tarot suit in the tarot. For some who know me, this is very odd because the suit of swords is very cutthroat. It's harsh. Pretty much every card in the sword suit is pretty cutthroat, harsh, which is very weird for me. But I really love the suit of swords. It is a very powerful suit. Not to say that all the other suits aren't powerful, but this is the most cutthroat, the most just harsh suit, and I love it. So I have gone with my go-to in this type of deep dive with the Smith-Waite Centennial Edition, which is the traditional artwork, and then I've gone more with a modern artwork, which is This Might Hurt Tarot, and then of course I have done the Spacious Tarot, which is a pip deck, which was the most popular in my last poll that I've done in my community section, where I had the viewers vote on the third deck that I would use. So I usually switch up the two decks in the deep dives, except I always use this one. So let's go ahead and get started. So the suit of swords is the air element. It is the winter season. It's all about the way we communicate, the way we think. So it's a very interesting suit. So let's go ahead. So we start with the aces here. So very traditional, we have the sword suit sticking straight up and all three aces. So the aces mark the beginning of the suit. So we have new ways of thinking, new ways of communication, new ways of thought processing. So it's very traditional. So once we get out of the aces, that's when things go a tiny bit different. So in the very traditional one, we have this person here by the river with the two swords at a different angle with the moon. This represents basically we have two options to make in our journey. More likely than not, since we are blindfolded, this is a choice that we just simply do not want to make. And more than likely, both options are going to be bad. We just have to choose the lesser evil. Going into This Might Hurt Tarot, it's a modernized traditional artwork. So we have the person blindfolded, then we have the person holding the two knives. Basically, we got to pick a lesser evil. So we go into the Two of Swords for the pip deck here, Spacious Tarot. It has the winter season in the background, which I really enjoy this deck that does that. It really follows with the seasons in the tarot. Then we go into the three here. We have the very traditional Three of Swords, where the Three Swords is piercing the heart. The Three of Swords is a very traumatic card. It deals with heartbreak. It deals like we're going through shit, and we basically have to go through it to get to the other side. And the Three of Swords in the modern tarot is This Might Hurt Tarot is a little more modernized, but it does have an animal here that's been pierced instead of a heart. But the Three of Swords is piercing through this animal. There's bloodshed. It's just a more modernized take. Basically, we're going through something and it's going to hurt. And then the Three of Swords for the Spacious Tarot here. This Three Swords piercing the snowy or maybe the ice ground, And these three swords, whatever we're going through, it is going through this hard foundation and it's starting to crack. It is breaking away, and there's blood at the edge of these swords. So even though we may appear strong, sometimes when we go through something, it really hurts, and we're not perfect. So when we get to the 4 here, we have a person laying down with 3 swords above and then the fourth one at the below. So basically, we are resting from this traumatic journey. We're resting, and then once we get back up, we're going to start through the battle again. We're going to move through it. This is a process where we have to step back, basically rest and meditate on what to do next, because the battle is not finished. Going into the 4 here for the This Might Hurt Tarot, a modernized take. 3 knives above, this person sleeping with the knife resting on their pillow. And then going into the 4 of Swords for the Spacious Tarot, we have a bench here with 3 swords standing together or resting. They're relaxing. And then the 4th sword here is a little bit to the left of the 3 swords, representing that the battle is not done. We are going to rest, meditate and just basically think about what to do next before we get up and move on. Going into the 5 here, the conflict card of the Suit of Swords. We have 3 people here, 1 person up in the front, and then we have 2 in the further back, 1 further back than the other. This person here has basically been a asshole. They have been a jerk to these other 2 people. These 2 people have left their swords because with the Suit of Swords, it's all about thinking, communicating. So basically, there has been a conflict between these 3 people, and this person was so set, so very close-minded, that these 2 people just gave up and said, you know what? You can have whatever you're selling. We do not want it. Going into the 5 here for the This Might Hurt Tarot. Very modernized take. Again, This Might Hurt Tarot is just a very updated version of the Smith-Waite Tarot. So we have the person here with 3 knives. These 2 people here are in the further back. There are their 2 knives, basically given to this person out of their sheer tomfoolery. And then the 5 of Swords for the Spacious Tarot here. This one is very interesting. It's not one of my favorite 5 of Swords, but it has that winter aspect that I really love. So you have this, looks like maybe, is it a vulture? It basically, they're standing on this one single sword, and then the rest of the 4 here is off to someone or something has left these swords for that one person. So it's still a typical take of the 5 of Swords, except I would prefer to have 2 other birds here to fully reflect that 5 of Swords. Going into the 6 here, we are on a journey. We have a person with basically guiding these 2 folks on the boat. They're going from choppy waters to more still waters here. They have all their swords. They're basically taking from whatever happened in the 5 of Swords, and they're transitioning to a new journey to brighter days. 6 of Swords here, This Might Hurt Tarot. We actually have just a lone person here on their boat. They are leaving these choppy waters and going to the sunset, to the still waters. And here are the 6 knives here. And then going into the 6 of Swords for the Spacious Tarot, we have 6 swords here together, standing strong, standing still, with all this darkness here that has happened. There is a shining light here. So things are not lost. We just have to move on, press forward, and see what happens on the next day. So going into the 7 here, the trickery card, the deceit. Not a big fan of this artwork, not a big fan of the traditional RWS artwork anyway, So this card in the suit of swords has always been the trickiest, no pun intended. Now that I just said that, it shows a person taking 5 swords from, it looks like a circus back here. They're taking the 5 swords here, but they left 2 behind because they can't carry all those swords. But this is card of being deceived, or you're doing trickery. It's always a reminder to think of the consequences of our actions. Going into the 7 for This Might Hurt Tarot, we have a person here. Again, here is the winter landscape that I really like. You don't get much of that in This Might Hurt Tarot as the Spacious Tarot, but it is represented here. So you have this person here taking all of these knives, but you see here they can't carry no more than 5. So these 2 are really stuck behind, or they're being left behind. For the 7 here, I love this interpretation here. We have the 6 swords here, but if you notice, the shadow of these swords is straight as an arrow. It's as if nothing's wrong. But if you look at this one here by itself, the shadow, the way this sword is pierced through the foundation, it's leaving a squiggly line as a way of saying something is not right about this sword. It's although it looks like it's standing tall, but the way that this is piercing through the foundation, there's something else to this sword, very deceitful, perhaps. So going into the 8 here, which is the bound to your, you're basically bound, but you're not to the point where you can't get out of a situation. So we have a person here that's bound by either rope or some type of tape, but the swords here, they're not enclosing on the person. So all they really have to do is maneuver a little bit, and you can get out of any situation that you are facing. So again, not for the Smith Waite traditional RWS artwork. Very stuffy, very traditional. So I'm more keen to the more modernized art, but this is definitely a card where you think you are hopeless, you think you can't get out of a situation, but if you just open your eyes a little bit more, you'll have a clearer perspective of what to do to get out of it. So the 8 of Swords for This Might Hurt Tarot, we have a person here wrapped up in rope, and then the 8 swords are spacely evened out, or spaced out enough where this person can, if they just open their eyes just a little bit, they know a way out of that dark, stormy situation that they are experiencing. So going into the 8 for the Spacious Tarot here, we have a person, sorry, not a person, we have 7 swords bound to this tree, but if there is one sword here that basically says, if this sword can do it, you can get out of this situation. And I just love this winter landscape in the Spacious Tarot. So going into the 9, probably one of my most connected cards is the Nightmare card, which is the 9 of Swords. I get nightmares usually almost every night, so I really connect with this card. So we have a person here laying up out of their bed, waking up out of their dream state, and their mind is just constantly going. They're stressed, they're worried, and that keeps you up at night. And then there's the 9 swords hanging above this person's head as they cannot stop worrying about their current situation. So going into the 9 of swords for This Might Hurt Tarot, we have an image where this person is staying out of it, sitting up in the bed, and then their 9 knives are just pointing at their head as they are just so engrossed in their challenges, their situations. It's literally taking over. And then for the 9 of Swords here for the Spacious Tarot, this one is a little more, not graphic, but more triggering, if you will. If you're a big fan of animals, especially with the 3 of Swords, with, that image, this bunny rabbit is feeling trapped, and they have these 9 swords just piercing at them. It hasn't hit them yet, but we'll see. So going into the 10 here, this is basically you've hit rock bottom. There's no way of getting out of your situation because you just did not learn from the previous swords. So you are just hit rock bottom. But the saying goes like, if you hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's up. So we have a person here basically been destroyed by the 10 swords. They're pierced through the swords. The swords have pierced through this person. They've hit rock bottom. They can't go anywhere. You notice here that there's darkness here, but here there's light. So it doesn't represent that all is lost per se, but you definitely hit the worst at your worst. So if we go into the 10 of swords here for this might hurt tarot, again, a person has been pierced by all different types of knives, actually. We have knives, we have a saber, we have just a regular sword. This person has hit rock bottom. They have blood coming out of their body. Even though the darkness is, surrounding this person, if you can see that the sunlight is just opening up. So even though you've hit rock bottom, there's only one way to go, and that's to keep going, to go up, and just keep pushing forward, regardless of the situation. So if we go in the 10 of swords for the spacious tarot here, we have a tree trunk that has been pierced through with 10 different swords. You can see that the foundation of this tree trunk has cracked. This is the rock bottom of that tree. That tree has been cut down. It's not going to grow anymore. So this is a very interesting take of the 10 of swords for the spacious tarot. As I said in my previous videos with the suits, I will not be doing the court cards in each video. I will do those in a separate video because you can interpret those court cards in many different ways. You can see them as families, you can see that energies, what have you. So they will be coming at a later time in a separate video. So let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the suit of swords? Do you not want to see them in a reading, or do you want to see them in the reading? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about my favorite suit in tarot, as I would love to hear about this. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, I will see you for my next video. Take care.